take a slow, deep breath and just settle in for a sec. We usually think of physical training and mental relaxation as two totally different universes, right? Like, if you want to be a better runner, well, you run more. If you want to clear your head, you sit quietly. We put them in completely separate boxes. But what if the wall between those two worlds isn't actually as solid as we think? What if just sitting in effortless, quiet meditation could literally change how your muscles burn energy when you're out there, pounding the pavement? Today, in this explainer, we're diving into some incredibly fascinating research that directly links mental ease with physical efficiency.
I mean, think about it. Can doing less actually make you physically more efficient? It sounds totally backwards, doesn't it? Especially for us, whether you're a student grinding through finals or a young professional, we're constantly told that just pushing harder is the absolute only way to win. Think back to the last time you stared down a massive exam or a crazy deadline. Your gut reaction was probably to what? Pull an all-nighter, grip the desk a little tighter, and just brute force your way to the finish line. We live in this culture that champions maximum effort 24/7, but the research we're unpacking today challenges that whole idea head-on. It actually asks us to look at whether a mental practice rooted in stillness, in ease, might just be the ultimate cheat code for optimizing how our bodies perform under extreme physical stress.
All right, Section 1, Decoding Work Economy. Let's talk about energy.
So, whenever you're doing physical work, maybe that's going for a run, powering through a long shift at work, or literally just lugging a ridiculously heavy backpack across campus, your body is constantly doing this complex math, figuring out exactly how much energy to deploy. And here's the thing, when physical work feels heavy, we actually end up spending way more effort than we really need to. We overcompensate, and we waste a ton of our precious internal resources doing it. It's kind of like a car. Heavy effort is like cruising down the highway with the parking brake slightly engaged. The engine's revving way too high, it's guzzling fuel, and the whole ride just feels strained. But improved work economy, that is the exact same car, going the exact same speed, but the brake is totally off. You get the exact same performance, but you're burning significantly less fuel. Basically, in human terms, improving your work economy means your body just stops fighting itself.
And that brings us to the core concept here, work economy. Simply put, it's the amount of energy used to perform a specific task. When you do something effortlessly, it naturally takes less energy. It's a streamlined, super efficient process. And wow, this is where the connection to meditation gets super profound. See, in certain meditation practices, the whole point is non-effort. Ease. It's a state of allowing things to happen. You aren't forcing your brain to shut up. You're just allowing it to settle on its own. So the big, million-dollar question is this. If you practice non-effort in your mind, does that actually train your body to operate with non-effort during a really tough physical task?
Section 2, the Acem Meditation Study, Putting Mental Ease to the Test.
To figure out if there's really a link between mental ease and physical work economy, researchers didn't just guess. They set up a highly targeted scientific study using a specific technique called Acem Meditation. Now, Acem is this practice that's deeply rooted in the psychology of non-directive, effortless focus. And get this, a study published in the highly respected British Journal of Sports Medicine actually found that the regular practice of Acem meditation improved work economy in recreational runners. And look, the British Journal of Sports Medicine is incredibly rigorous. This isn't some fringe internet theory. We're talking about hard, peer-reviewed data here. They literally took everyday recreational runners, folks who just jogged to clear their heads or stay in shape, probably a lot like you, and precisely tracked how their bodies reacted to physical stress after picking up a regular Acem meditation habit.
The results they found were honestly pretty amazing. Regular practice of Acem meditation directly improves your work economy during physical effort. Like just sitting quietly and practicing mental ease genuinely translated into measurable physical energy efficiency right there on the running track. The runners who meditated, they basically became that super fuel-efficient car. They were perfectly capable of hitting the exact same level of physical performance, but their internal engine just wasn't redlining anymore. I mean, have you ever tried to go for a run when you're super stressed out? Your shoulders are practically up to your ears, your breathing is completely shallow, and literally every single step feels like a battle? Well, these meditators figured out how to fundamentally stop their bodies from fighting the effort.
Moving on to Section 3, lactic acid and immunity. Let's look at the biological proof.
Now, as critical thinkers, we've got to ask, how do we actually know this? Right? You can't just ask a runner, hey, did that feel easier today? And then get published in a prestigious medical journal. You need precise physiological metrics measured during a standardized physical test. So the researchers essentially popped the hood on these runners' bodies. And that brings us to lactate, or what you probably know as lactic acid. The researchers use the amount of lactate produced in the body as the main yardstick for a runner's work economy. See, lactate is basically a byproduct of incomplete combustion in your body. Going back to our car analogy for a second, if an engine isn't burning fuel cleanly, it spews out excess exhaust and waste, right? Well, in your body, when your muscles are struggling and not utilizing energy efficiently, they churn out a ton of lactate. And that is exactly what causes that intense, heavy burning sensation in your legs. This perfectly captures what happens when we're pushing ourselves too hard. When your muscles are pushed beyond their comfortable, oxygen-rich limits, your body literally shifts gears into a state called anaerobic metabolism. Once you're in that state, your lactate levels just skyrocket. Your muscles start screaming, you feel incredibly fatigued, and your energy tank just drains fast. You essentially hit the wall. But, and this is the wild part, the study found that the runners who practice Acem meditation produced significantly lower amounts of lactate during the exact same physical test compared to the non-meditators. Because their work economy was leveled up through mental non-effort, their bodies didn't panic metabolically. They didn't just frantically shift into that wasteful anaerobic state right away. They were, quite literally, burning their fuel cleaner. And the biological proof doesn't even stop at muscle fatigue. There was also this fascinating pilot study that zoomed in on our immune response. You know how after a completely insane week of final exams, or right after a massive physical event, you almost always catch a cold? Yeah, that happens because when you put your body through severe stress or intense exercise, the sheer physical toll triggers what's known as typical immune system suppression. Basically, your body is so busy just trying to survive the immediate workout that your long-term immune defenses take a temporary nosedive. But check this out. The study showed that combining high-intensity exercise with the regular practice of Acem meditation actually resulted in reduced immune suppression. The mental meditation practice actively blunted that negative biological stress response. It's like it gave their immune system a shield.
Section 4. Efficiency under stress. Let's talk real-world implications.
We started off talking about running, but let's be real. Exercise is really just a highly measurable form of stress. The implications of these findings go way, way deeper into how we actually live our day-to-day lives. Let's quickly recap what we've unpacked here. The regular practice of Acem meditation leads to a seriously improved work economy. We know this biologically because of lower lactate production, meaning your body isn't wasting internal fuel or making all that metabolic exhaust. And that's backed up by the reduced immune suppression, which tells us your nervous system isn't just defaulting to biological panic mode. When you put it all together, it points to one really profound conclusion. Regular meditation builds a body that operates with way greater physical efficiency under stress. This mental practice of non-effort literally trains your physical nervous system to handle heavy loads with calm, grace, and biological ease. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to genuinely think about. If taking just a few minutes a day to practice mental non-effort through Acem meditation can literally rewrite the chemical makeup of your muscles and protect your immune system when you're completely exhausted, well, how could the practice of non-effort change the way you handle the mental and physical stress you're facing today? Imagine tackling your heaviest burdens, whether that's crazy academic pressure, a massive project at work, or your own physical training, not by white-knuckling it and trying harder, but by operating more efficiently. Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take a deep breath and try to carry that sense of effortless efficiency into whatever you've got going on next.